Alright, without further ado, let's begin. For 3D character action games, all the programming for our character will be done between two of the character's objects. The character's armature, which will be responsible for playing the character's animations, and the character controller, which we're about to make, which will be responsible for the character's movement, physics, and collisions. Assuming you already have a rigged character ready for the game you're making, I'm not going to show you how to do that in this video. However, if you don't already have those and you're looking a little worried right now, don't worry because I'm giving away mine, the one you can see it in this video, for free in the link in the description. So go ahead and get it if you don't already have a character of your own and you still want to learn and follow along. But if you already have your own character, then that is splendid. Look at you. You already have a character. You came prepared. Pat on the head. Bing, 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 bing. So let's make our character controller, the component of our character responsible for our character's movement, physics, and collisions. First, you're going to add a cube, as it's a pretty simple object that will do the job just fine. Then select your character armature, press Shift S, and snap the cursor to the selected object. This is going to get our 3D cursor to our armature's origin, which is what we're going to need because we're going to select our cube, press Shift S, and we're going to snap the selected object, which is our cube, to our cursor with the offset, which is important because we want them to be in the exact same location. Then select your cube and scale it so that it's encompassing the character. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure you have your character's armature in a pose where you have both of the character's arms by the character's sides. Because as we're scaling our cube, we want it to encompass the areas of the body where most of the body mass is, i.e. width-wise, generally the center of the body. Which means in side view, you're going to scale the cube along the y-axis so it's just as narrow as the body. Until you have something like this where your cube is fully encompassing your character. Then with your cube still selected, you're going to press Ctrl A and apply the scale so that how we've scaled it becomes the new official scale of the cube. Afterwards, with your cube still selected, you're going to go into the object properties, scroll down to where it says viewport display, and in the maximum draw type dropbox window, you're going to click wire. This is going to display the cube as a wireframe object, which will allow you to see your character through it. And then afterwards in the object properties, we're going to scroll up and change the name of our cube to character controller. Then we're going to copy this, go into the object data properties, and also change the name of the cube's data block to character controller. And now to give our character controller the physics. Go into the physics properties and change the physics type from static to dynamic. And just from this alone, if we press P to play, as you can see, this has given our character controller physics and it is now affected by the scene's gravity. However, it's falling through the ground, and the reason why it's doing that is because it's calculating its collisions according to this radius over here. Obviously, we don't want that, and we want our collisions to be calculated by the shape of the character controller. So to do that, we're going to scroll down in the physics properties until we find collision bounds. We're going to turn collision bounds on, and for the bounds, we're going to leave this at box, since our character controller is in the shape of a box. If we had this a cylinder, it would calculate our collisions to be the shape of a cylinder. Same if we click cone, as you can see, it's a cone now. And it does this because what collision bounds does is define the shape of the area encompassing our character where we want it to have physical collisions. Hence why box is the most suitable for our situation, since our character controller is the shape of a box. Now you can also use capsule. Capsule I've found works pretty well, especially if you're having objects colliding into your character from the top of the character controller, as this is going to enable it to kind of slide off. If you had it as box, the object will just land on top, as the top edge is a flat surface. So honestly, it's really up to you. However, in most uses, box is fine, and that's what I'll be teaching in this tutorial. And if you press P, as you can see, now our character controller has fallen to the ground and collided with the ground object as it should. So now we obviously want this for our character, and all we will need to do to achieve that is simply attach our character to the character controller. So firstly, in the character controller's physics property, set it to invisible. Then you're going to select the character's armature, and then shift select the character controller, press Ctrl P, and this is going to set the character controller as the parent of the character's armature, which is a fancy way of basically saying we are going to connect the armature to the character controller. So set the parent to the object, which will be the character controller. And now if you select only your character controller and move it around, you can see we've done exactly that. And now since we've done this, we want to make sure that in our entire character, only the character controller has physics. So go ahead and select the character's body. And if it has a collision type other than no collision, set it to no collision. And do the same for all the objects that are connected to our character controller as a result of us parenting our armature to the character controller. This is so that all the collisions for our character stay consistent, since there's no other object's collisions that may be potentially conflicting with the collisions of our character controller. And now if we move our character controller up and we press P, as you can see, we've done. And now we are ready to begin making this character move and jump around and apply animations and etc.